share a little secret. I hate sports anime. I even have a rule when it comes to sports anime, and that is never watch sports anime. Ever. And there goes the dislike bar. I don't like this genre for reasons. Yeah, let's call them reasons. But then one day my friend pops this little bundle of joy on my lap and says, yeah, there's this anime, it's called Free, it's a yaoi anime, you'll love it. Of course, I was immediately sold, since I had just finished Seikaiichi Hasukoi and I needed something to fill the void. I remember the moment when I found out it was a sports anime. I made this episode 6 and I hated everything at that moment. I was tempted to drop it, I was so tempted to drop it, but I hung my head in shame and tapped episode 7 because it was just good enough for me to not drop it. You know, I'm glad I didn't drop it because I was actually very pleased. In more ways than one. So before any more bad dirty jokes happen, how about we roll the clip and review Free, shall we?
Is it weird for me to think he looks good in that swimsuit? I mean, really good. It's totally not weird, right? Ooh, new meat.
Before we talk about the story of Free, we should talk about his backstory because it's pretty cool. In April 2012, Kyoto Animation released a 30-second test reel, practically bragging to other animation studios that they can animate water and make it look damn sexy. Of course, the collective sound of ovaries exploding got the anime community hyped, and no one knew what this magical test reel was, so they dubbed it the swimming anime, and hope it was a promo for a new anime and not the test reel KyoAni said it was. KyoAni saw this hype and said, whoa! We can bank off of this! And so they did. They took the light novel the test reel was based on and they turned it into the show we're talking about today in the following year. So what is the show about? Free is about this emotionless but not emotionless, not emo guy named Haru who loves water. He's been swimming since he was a kid and he's now a high school student living in the small town called Iwatobi with his best friend Makoto living around the corner. One day the two go to school and they run into Nagisa, an old friend from their competitive swimming days. Nagisa tells the boys that their old swim club building is about to be torn down, and the boys decide to go see the place one last time. Then they break an entry. While inside the building, they run into their old friend Ren, who also used to swim with them. This comes as a shock to the boys because Ren was supposed to be in Australia, but it turns out he moved back to Japan and is now attending a different school and is on their swimming team. So for him to just leave and come back without contacting any of his friends is rather strange. And Ren is different now, and no, it's not the shark teeth, he had those since he was a kid, but he's a jackass now. Ren challenges Haru to a race, and he wins, only to feel like his winning was pointless because Haru doesn't swim competitively anymore, so he challenges Haru to a real race, school versus school, and Haru accepts. There's one teensy-wissy itty-bitty little problem with that plan. Haru's school, Iwatobi High, doesn't have a swim team. So what do you do in order to beat your old friend from elementary school? You restart the old swim club at your school, you recruit some people, and you train your ass off. This show confused me the first time I watched it, but after rewatching it, I was both surprised and pleased. I don't know if this plot is just another sports anime plot because Free is the first one that I watched, but I found the plot to be rather interesting and well developed for my first and only sports anime. Second, I had to applaud Free for how experimental and ambitious it is because it's the first anime to completely embody male fan service, now nicknamed man service. Doing something like this was a huge risk, and it completely paid off in the end.
Oh, you like that, don't you, you dirty ocean? Oh, you can't wait for me to get inside you, huh? Huh? Oh, you slut, you are so wet.
Probably swimming.
I do have my problems with the characters of Free, but we should talk about the characters themselves first. Like I said, Haru is an emotionless, non-emotionless teenage boy who loves water. He also cooks mackerel in nothing but a swimsuit and his apron. Haru loves water so much that he'll strip down at the sight of the stuff, bathes in his swimsuit, and gets depressed during winter because it's cold and the freezing water will kill him. He gave up competitive swimming because it was useless to him. It wasn't where his heart was at all, because water is this thing that has no rules and takes no true form. That's why he only swims freestyle. He swims not because he loves it or because he loves water, but because it's where his heart belongs. Makoto is Haru's best friend from childhood. Like Haru, he used to swim competitively back when they were kids. And like Haru, he gave up competitive swimming and he now swims just for the hell of it or because Haru drags him to the beach. And after starting up the new school swim team, he serves as the team's captain. Makoto is the nicest person in the show. Hell, he might even be the reincarnation of Marco Ball because they're both the nicest people in the world. cool. Oh, and he also has a spear of the ocean, which is kind of useless, but we'll get to that later. When you first see Nagisa, you think he's going to be the annoying, energetic Shota lolly of the show. But no, he's not. Nagisa also used to swim with Haru and Makoto, and he's a rather determined swimmer who's also happy to help his friends in any way possible, as he is the one who suggested rebuilding the swim club and does most of the recruiting. He's a fun character and not the annoying, energetic Shota lolly that we thought he would be. You just gotta love how adorable he is. Look at those eyes. Oh my god, they're so pink. And he's a manipulative little bastard. Holy shit! Ray is the final member of the Iwatobi swim team, and he isn't introduced until episode 4. Unlike the rest of the boys, Ray didn't swim as long as they did. In fact, he was already in the sports club, and now it's the track club. He only joined the swim team because he was recruited by Nagisa to join because his form was good. Ray has this whole thing going on with beauty, and he didn't want to join the swim team at first because of how ugly he thought it was. Then he saw Haru swim for the first time and how beautiful and graceful he was, and he wanted to achieve that form of beauty. There's one major problem with Ray. He can't swim. At all. But it's okay because with the power of love and friendship, he can make it. This isn't Ray's only problem, as he feels useless among the guys because they've known each other for so long, and Ray only came in because they needed one more person to join the team. He also feels like the weak link because of his inability to swim, and how much he slows down the team. What I like about what the anime did to him is that they never portrayed him as the weak link, but just another part of the team. Ran is the final main character and the last person to swim with Haru and the guys back when they were kids. At first, Ren seems like a jackass, but he's a much more complex character because, spoiler, it's better to watch the show for yourself. The supporting cast is kinda split. There's the Iwatobi High supporting cast who helps the boys succeed in training or running the club. Then there's the supporting class at Ren's school, Samazuka High, who are just a bunch of swimmers on a swim team. The only character I had my biggest problem with this season was Go, or Ko. She's the manager of the Iwatobi swim team and Ren's younger sister. My problem with her is that she's meant to be every girl and boy who drooled over the hot guys while watching this show, as she always fangirls over hot shirtless guys. I always had this love-hate relationship with her, but after watching and analyzing this show and seeing how clever these characters are, I have to once again applaud KyoAni for how well done this show is, but that's another video for another day. Overall, the supporting cast come in, they do their job, and they get out. They're also pretty memorable on a few accounts. My main problem with the characters of Free is how they're not fully developed. They are good characters, yes, but there are times where KyoAni said, hey, we didn't give this guy enough development, so let's throw in how he's afraid of the ocean. It seems like Haru, Makoto, and Nagisa stayed the same throughout the whole first season, with Haru getting some inner conflict in the end. And Ren's more complex character unfolded as time went on, allowing him to grow and develop as a character. The character with the most development is Ray, who I sometimes wish was the leading main character and not Haru because of how much development he got. But at least I wasn't desperate for him to be the main character like I wasn't Akame ga Kill or Charlotte, and I was fine with where he was because he was still a main character. Ray gets the most development as he's the one who can't swim and grows more as a person as he forms a bond with these guys, especially Nagisa, who turns into his best friend as the series goes on. Ray and Nagisa are great to watch, as when they were together they were always very fun and energetic, and you had to love the constant banter between the two. Shout out to the Japanese voice actors for capturing the chemistry, as they seem to have a great amount of chemistry themselves, and I only hope that Greg and Michael will be able to pull it off in the dub. And if you're able to get guys to say they wish that Ray and Nagisa were a real couple in canon, you're doing something right, KyoAni. You're doing something right.
Choice.
This reminds me of prison. This reminds me of prison. This reminds me of prison. Oh, this definitely reminds me of prison.
Nagisa? That's a picture of us as kids.
Oh, hey, yeah, it is. Look at that little pimp. He gonna grow up to be a prison-ass motherfucker.
The animation done by KyoAni is absolutely gorgeous. Apart from the really good character design, the water is the main star of this anime. The water animation is stunning and beautiful at how fluid it looks. And water costs a lot of money to animate, but there was never a moment where the quality of animation had to drop in order to save budget, as the show kept its high quality animation throughout the whole series, which was very relieving. The soundtrack is also pretty well done, but it's mostly hit and miss for me, as some songs consist of a genre of music that I'm not really fond of. This mostly applies to the opening song, as I'm not a big fan of the type of music, and sometimes I would skip it, while other times I would just watch it to see the visuals. The ending theme, on the other hand, is fucking awesome! I say this not only because it's an incredibly catchy song, but also because it's able to make me get up and dance to it. And I don't dance at all, so a lot was definitely done right.
I ship them! Them! They hate each other, but they also f each other.
Hey, we try not to get this part of the gym wet, so whatever you're doing is gonna have to stop.
You don't watch Free for the plot. Okay, you do, but you don't. There's a lot of enjoyment to be found in shirtless boys and gay undertones, but at the same time, you have a rather interesting story and characters. Unlike most fan service shows like High School DxD and To Love Ru, you watch Free to see both shirtless guys and to see what's going to happen next. And no, Free is not a yaoi. It just has a lot of gay undertones. I think Free is going to be a classic because it's a bold and ambitious experiment that tried something new and succeeded. And I only hope that new shows will try this new form of fan service and turn it from this thing that people bitch about on the internet to something that's normal to see in anime. Humans are such stupid creatures, aren't they? I'm glad I'm the evil spawn of a demon who doesn't care about your feelings. And so, based on story, characters, animation, sound, and my own personal enjoyment, which after having it watch boys get half naked and do almost gay stuff and having my enjoyment drool and fangirl over them until all of its energy was gone, then have it rinse and repeat for the next day, I award Free with a 4 out of 5 stars. Free is a very good and entertaining show which both shocked and pleased me, so I recommend that people keep an open mind and check it out. At the time of this video, the first season of Free is licensed and available from Discotheque Media, or is it Funimation? I don't know, because it's been dubbed by Funimation, but they're not selling it. Only Discotheque is selling it. Like there's like some weird licensing thing, and Discotheque has season 1 while Funimation has season 2. But you can still stream season 1 in both sub and dub over on Crunchyroll.com. Recommendations are a little tricky today because, you know, I hate sports anime, so I can't recommend a sports anime that I haven't seen, and I definitely won't be mentioning a certain one on this channel. So I'm going to recommend shows with water, and those shows are Nagano Asakura and Saritama. And that is all from me, everyone. Tell me what you think about this anime. Love it? Hate it? Plan to watch it? Tell me in the comments below. Question of the day being, which Free boy? You can only pick one. I can't pick one, so you gotta pick one. Anyway, remember to drop a sub, leave a like, comment an anime below that you would like for me to review, and until next time, I'm out.